everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in the final installment of my Planner System Planner Lineup 2022 lineup, I am going to go over my goal setting planner for the new year, and it is the Cultivate What Matters 2022 Powersheets Goal Planner. Now, I wasn't certain or sure if I was going to use this again for 2022 because I currently have it now, but I didn't quite use it the way that I probably should have used it. I think I kind of just went through the motions using it, but not really diving in and using it. Now, that could be because it was my first year and I felt that, well, maybe I started to look at other goal planners and planning systems for goals, but none of them really had everything that I actually need for a goal planner for me to work through. And with me trying to create my goals, it's a struggle sometimes if I don't have something that is guided for me to actually work through. And this will actually be the second year that I'm actually taking the initiative to actually sit down and write out my goals. So what I did was, as the videos came out for this year's goal planner, I started to watch them, and there were a few that actually piqued my interest into saying, you know what, go ahead, give it another try for 2022 and see what happens. So I told myself, okay, you know what, if I can't get the color I want, then I'm not going to get it. Well, luckily enough, I got the green, and I believe this is a limited edition color for this year because they are celebrating 10 years of doing the Cultivate What Matters Powersheets. So I am grateful that it was there. And so because of that, I decided to give it another try. I think maybe if you have ever used it before, or you're thinking about using it, or you're on the fence, I would say, if at all possible, give it another try, because the first go round, it can be a little intimidating and you may just be going through the motions. But you can take what you learned from last year, which I'm doing now. I will take what I learned from what I'm using now and apply that for doing it for this year. So let's take a look in, because there are a few changes. I haven't really looked through all of the changes, and I do have my current Powersheets here with me. So let's just go through and I will show you how, or talk you through how I'm actually going to use it. And once I set it up for 2022, I will come back and I will show you how I actually set up the planner. So one of the things that we have here is the My Word of the Year. So last year that wasn't in there. Last year, I believe, let me pull it out for last year. They gave you a space in the front to where you could, well, not in the front, but they gave you a space after you went through all of the prep work to determine what your word of the year was to be after you do all of the prep work, which is, I think, is a great idea. But I think I already have a word in mind, and it's probably going to be the same word from last year. And guess what? That's okay, because the biggest thing that I've learned through using planners this year in general is that I can create and use them the way that I want to, so that they fit my needs and what I need it to do for me. So that is why my system hasn't changed either. Because it works for me, I'm going to keep using what works for me and not change it until I need to change it, until it breaks, and until I need to find a new system or incorporate something. So this is for the word of the year, and I'll stick that there for now. And it's Hello Fresh Start 2022. And every year should be considered a fresh start, but at the same time, a continuation on what you wanted to accomplish, because there might be some things that we didn't accomplish this year in 2021 that we still want to accomplish in 2022. So it's also a continuation on and a fresh start at the same time. So as always, here we have Mark What Matters. So we have here the stickers that we have in the book, very similar to what they were last year, and the colors are a little bit lighter than what they were last year. And over here real quick, and I'll flip this over, you see Growing Good Things, 10 Years of Powersheets, Why We Do What We Do, and the answer is you. At Cultivate What Matters, we're passionate about women uncovering what truly matters and doing something about it. For over a decade, our tools and teaching have sparked positive and powerful change in thousands of lives across the globe, including ours, just like you. We've experienced the power of little by little progress, adding up as this company has grown alongside us. We're grateful you're here. It's our journey to walk alongside you as you build your most intentional life. And that's something that is just amazing to see. And I know there are a lot of people that have actually been with them from the beginning. And just for them to see how it's changed and how they've grown and how they have listened to their customers to make all and any of the necessary changes, and that they're helping us as women, or anybody for that matter, go through and make our goals a reality. So let's continue on. So the first page here, it's cultivate, and it's a verb, and to break up the soil in preparation for new growth, to tend and to grow. And of course, as we know, you do have to, when you plant a seed, you do have to cultivate it, water it, take care of it, do the work required so that it can grow. And it's the same thing with a goal that I am also learning, is that I have to do the work. I have to cultivate it. I have to tend to it in order for it to grow and to flourish, even if it's little by little, as they say, but it's something that you have to do in order to move forward, or it will just stay the same and nothing will change. And to become intentional about what it is that we want in our lives. So here we have 2022 goal ideas. So in this section here, this is where you can just brainstorm all of the ideas that you have as far as goals for 2022. So before I move forward, I just want to let you know that for me, I use my Powersheets as my business goal planner. So this will be something that I just use for my goals for my business for 2022, as well as it was for this year for 2021, because I need something that I can just focus, have that is dedicated just to this. So if you're dedicated to, say, savings, or if you're dedicated to traveling more, or getting a new job at work, getting a new position at work, or finishing school, going after, whether it's your bachelor's, associate's, PhD, master's, whatever it is that you want to do, go ahead and do it. And allow this, to think of as many and as crazy of an idea as it may be. Go on ahead and write it all down. So this is sort of like your massive brain dump. So with Powersheets, it does make you do the intentional work of looking inside of yourself and just going through, as far as here goes, it's your about me, getting to know you, and you're actually putting it on paper. And one of the things about it is that it does make you sit down and really think about yourself. And from the stories that I've heard, people have been moved, they've been shocked, they've been surprised as they begin to just write through the pages, because they're really being and becoming intentional about what it is that they want. Of course, what makes you come alive and what fires you up. And again, this is another massive brain dump that you can do. And I think sometimes, and I'm guilty of this as well, we forget how powerful brain dumps can be, because when you begin to write everything out that you have in your head, that's where you're able to actually find and see ideas that you may have forgotten about, things that you thought you could not do. Something may actually jump out at you that is like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm supposed to do next when it comes to my goals and how I'm to move forward with something. Or, hey, you know what? Let me do that. I now have the time, or now I can kind of make the time to do it. So when it comes to the areas of power dumps, of the brain dumps, really use those and get everything out. And as you look over it, things will begin to jump out at you that you never thought would, once you've actually wrote everything down. And sometimes they may all be connected, but you would never know that until you actually write them all down. So here is the Cultivated Life Evaluation. Now this is definitely a change from last year, and I will show you what it looks like currently. This is what it looks like currently in, well, it's the same a little bit. This is what it currently looks like in the 2021 Powersheets. Now, before I actually realized that I didn't have to follow the topics at the top, that they could be my own. I was kind of going about it that way, but not quite. So in numbers, and the other thing, you don't have to use all 8 of them. You can use 3 or 4. So for me, for example, it's going to be, say, my overall business, it's going to be social media, and it might be clients. So I only have 3. Finances, might be 1, work might be 1. So I can now take this and craft it to make any type of title. So it might not be spiritual and personal because I have that in my Vista. This might be something as personal development or business development for me. So that was one of the key things here from last year. So this year, I'll be able to go through and definitely change the headings of these to meet my needs. And that's the thing. Just always make sure that when you get planners in general, you can use them any way that you want to. And I think for me, that is the one thing that I've definitely learned and will be utilizing that moving forward, is that this is just a guide, but I can take this and I can create it to be my own and to work for me. So of course you have your challenges and your good things. Who am I really? And a lot of these, even though as I'm looking through them, you have your big picture, a lot of these I may not need to do them because it doesn't pertain to what it is I actually want to do and what I'm using it for. So you have here your big picture vision, and it may just be for here, taking the categories from back here, your evaluations, and putting them here. Again, you don't have to use all 8. And when I got this last year, I did use all 8. But in reality, I probably maybe need 3 or 4. And then maybe if I have some wild idea that I may have, that might be an extra one that I have. But we don't have to use all of them. So don't feel that you have to. And here you just put in your big picture version for each of the areas that you want to accomplish. So say health and wellness is here. Say this is for green because it's money. So this might be, I want to make $1 million this year, right? Now I'm just using numbers. So I want to make $1 million. When you come over here to living out this year, it's knowing what matters. Close your eyes and envision the most purposeful year yet, then write out some thoughts over here. So, but from this might be my overall goal right here. I want to make $1 million. And then underneath it, how do I accomplish those goals? How do I accomplish that goal? Which is, in actuality, these here say, so for your focal relationship, friends, this might be social media. This might be clients. This might be for me to brand awareness for me, or growth, or generating leads, however I want to. These are now my support. This is my overall goal, but these are the supporting goals to actually make this goal a reality. So see how I'm also able to create it, to make it my own as I go through and to visualize it and to map it out the way that I see fit that works best for me. So here you have what you're saying yes to. Imagine the intentional year. You have a vision board. So I will probably do the vision board again this year as well. And I will show you what my vision board for 2021 looks like right here, because I do have that actually in here. Here it is. And this is my vision board for this current year. It's just simple, and it could be something as simple as what I have here. I have a quote from TD Jakes: "You cannot conquer what you are not committed to." I have another one from Heather Silverson: "Commit to your goals and focus on what you want. Make a plan and take action. You are in control." So that these are just simple reminders for me. Now, I didn't go back and look at them as much as I should have. Actually, I didn't look at the Powersheets as much as I should have. But that's the beauty of giving it another try, is taking what I learned this current year and applying it for moving forward for next year to make the difference that needs to be made. So the vision board, which is always a fun thing to do. So now let's get to the actual goal action plan, which is a little different layout from this current year as well. So how are we going to take it and break down the goals? So here you have your goal action plan. So you'll go through your goal. So again, it might be, I want to make $1 million. What motivates me to make this happen? And it might be something as simple as, I want to have financial freedom, and whatever financial freedom looks like for you. And what type of goal is it, and what area is it? And again, some of these you don't even use. They may not even apply to what or how you use this. The resources needed, what success looks like, what might happen if I don't start or make progress, the people who will be positively affected, and how I will have fun with this goal along the way. So then over here, you come down. It's another brainstorming, brain dump idea to where you go in and sketch out a plan for the next 12 months for this particular goal. And you can write down as many goals or ideas that you have in order for you to put all of that together and what you will need to do for that particular goal to make it come true and to make it happen by the end of the year. And of course, you have it for each and every goal that you may have. Now, for me, these are your yearly goals. So these may be, if I have like, say 3 or 4 big goals, this would be the big goal, but this is what I need to do to actually break it down. And you want to be as descriptive as you can possibly be when writing down the goals that you have and really truly breaking them down, because now you're going to see, if you take it to as granular as you can, now you're able to go in and take these ideas for when you start the month and you put them in, as soon as I can find it, your tending list here. Now, when it comes to the tending list, this is where I will definitely struggle, and I'm trying to figure out how to actually do it. I think I only need the monthly action items here, and then breaking them down into weekly actions, but I think the weekly actions will go into my business social media planner that I have, my life planner that I have, in order for me. So this is something that's definitely still a work in progress. So if you have any ideas or how you utilize this, or if you use what's here, or if you have another system that you use, let me know in the comments below, because I'm trying to figure out how to actually make this truly work for me. I know people say that they will actually write this down, and these pages are perforated, and what they'll do is that they'll tear these out and they'll put them into their planner, which is an idea I might try. I'm not for sure, but then I don't like tearing pages out of my planner, so we will definitely see. So you have this for the month, and then of course you have your month in review, which is right here, of what went well, what didn't go well, the memories, what you're going to say no to if there was something that came up that you need to say no to. Say it might be watching too much TV, and what you're saying yes to, maybe designating a no TV Tuesday, as somebody had mentioned. I'm in one of the planner communities that I'm in, to say have to create a no TV day, or only able to watch TV during certain times of the day so that you don't get distracted. So you definitely want to utilize this. I don't use this as much as I would use the tending list and the goals. Now, another thing that they have in here are your quarterly refreshes. And so your refresh is here, and you have these each quarter. Sometimes the quarters come so fast that it's like, wait, I have to refresh already. Especially this year, this year flew by. So you definitely want to, and for me, I will definitely have to schedule time, which is one of the other things I learned, is that I actually will have to schedule time in my planner to make sure that I do my tending list, to make sure that I do the quarterly refreshes. And even if I don't do the first quarterly refresh, I will at least do the refresh after, let's see, January, March, April, May, June. After June, if I don't do it quarterly, I know I will at least do it annually, which will leave the first 6 months, and then come back and do it again after June. But at the same time, doing it quarterly will also allow me to see what I'm doing well, what changes I need to make going into the next quarter. So the jury's still out on that as well, on how I will use it. And this is definitely a 12-month planner. It's not a planner, it's more of a goal setting planner and not an actual planner, because I really or rarely use the monthly layout here, because I have another planner that I use that for, and I will show you what that actually looks like really quick. This is the planner. This is the calendar layout, the monthly layout. So with the Powersheets, some of the takeaways that I've learned is that it is okay to give it another try. It is okay to admit that you didn't use the planner correctly, or you didn't use it at all, and you want to give it another try. If you didn't use yours from 2021, just redate it and go forward and use it again. For me, because I did use it, I said, you know what, I'm going to give it another try. I've been watching a lot of videos, and there was a great advice that I didn't think about last year, but I thought about to do this year. And it was actually getting a notebook and beginning to prep for it in my notebook first, to get the ideas out, and then transfer them and begin to transfer them here. So kind of doing like a rough draft. So I don't have to do the rough draft per se in here, but to get all of my ideas out and get everything, just to at least begin to kind of focus on what goals do I want, and maybe write down a bunch of goals that I want to accomplish, and then pick out, for me, maybe the top 4 goals that I want to accomplish, and begin to maybe brainstorm them out from there. And then with the notebook each quarter, I can always track myself, sort of like not necessarily a journal, but kind of a way to map out your progress, and it gives you more space that you can actually write and think through a lot of, and process through a lot of your goals for 2022. So I actually ordered a notebook for that, which will be here hopefully before I begin to do my prep work. I have not began the prep work for this yet. I will do that probably not next week, but in December I will do that. They do actually offer a goal school with this, and they actually have in December, they will also actually have a day where everyone comes together on a Zoom call, and they go through and work through the prep work together. So because I work, I won't be able to attend that, but I will definitely take time aside. I'm actually thinking about going away for a day, doing a staycation, so I can focus on my goals and work through the prep work. Or if not, I have created and built a space for me to where I can actually go in and get the work done. But do whatever it is you need to do to write down and set out your goals for 2022. So if you have any questions, please let me know. As always, the link will be in the description box below for you to take it out, look at, and check it out. And with all of that, have an amazing rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.